All right, peace. First and foremost, man, hopefully the Most High in your house, y'all, is blessing your day. By His mercies you want to consume. We're alive in the Most High in your house, that's body and we're naturally alive. And yeah, man, kind of at work right now, but I want to get into this, man, because, kind of revisit Genesis 49 real quick. And also, too, this is another video that we want to talk about where we talk about like crowns, man, because in Wisdom of Solomon, Second Esdras, and First Peter it talks about how the elect, how the sons and daughters, or most high house shall sons, I should say, or receive crowns and things of that nature, man. Well, daughters will receive, of course, some, but I'm saying as far as kingdom things, as far as kings and things of that nature. But I want to go into something too. Lord, we're going to go into something too as a Lord willing, another time, where even having this understanding of the Most High Yahushua, the gospel, the witness, the testimony, new covenant, that's a crown within itself. But that's another video for another day. Yeah, we just gonna get straight into it because I don't have much time. Yeah, because we're revisiting Genesis 49, and this all goes into the gospel, witness, and testimony, man, new covenant, man. This is how the Most High Yahushua comes in the volume of the book, like, because we're doing Genesis 49. I just want to revisit that. So let's go Genesis 49 real quick, man. I'm gonna look at this. Genesis 49, verse 26. It says, and the crown on the, this is talking about Joseph, but this even lines up with Yahushua, because the whole story of Joseph is like, we're supposed to see, honestly, the testimony and the witness of Yahushua in that, man, honestly. But we talked about that before, but this is, because also, too, this is another story for another day when we're going to talk about every knee shall bow. That was even in the law in the beginning with Joseph, and even when Yahushua was on the scene, what did his disciples say? All hail. So it's the same type of same word, just different. This like we always say, it's like the words, like, that movie, TV show, or video game. It's the same theme, same recurring motif, but different characters, different people, I should say, like, whether righteously or wickedly, but it's the same deal, man. That's why we know we're dealing with the same God. So let's get Genesis chapter 49, verse, and honestly too, Yahushua's the head. So notice how it says the head on Joseph. I mean, of course it's talking about his head, but let's look at this again. Genesis 49, verse 26. The blessings of your father have excelled the blessings of my ancestors upon and up to the utmost bound of the everlasting hills. Okay, we keep going. They shall be on the head of Joseph, and the crown of the head, and the crown of the head of him that was separate from his brothers. So see that? Wasn't Yahushua separate from his brother, man, and his people, man? Because that's what that was in Solomon too, goes into, like, that. No, let's look at that real quick. So I don't have much time. You see, this is how he was separate. He was separate from the Pharisees, the scribes, and all that. Then he was separate. Let's get Wisdom of Solomon 2 real quick. Let's go. Yeah, Wisdom of Solomon 2, chapter 12. See how this is all Wisdom of Solomon 2 talking about Yahushua. I talking about any other prophet as well, righteous man or person as well, righteous man or woman as well. But it's really talking about Yahushua. It says, therefore, Wisdom of Solomon 2, verse 12. Therefore, let us lie and wait for the righteous, because he is not for our turn, and he is clean contrary to our doing. See that he's separate. That's what he says in the law in Leviticus: be holy, be separate, honestly, because holy means separate, honestly. So, be not of the world, and that's what it's all about, man. Because to our turn, he's clean contrary to our doings. He upbraided us with our offending of the law and objective to our infamy, the transgressions of our education. So see that? That's what it said in Matthew, that Yahushua, upbraided them, honestly. So, let's read this one more time. Therefore, let us, Wisdom Solomon 2, verse 12. Therefore, let us wait for the righteous, because he is not for our turn. He's clean contrary to our doings. He upbraided us with our offending of the law, offended of the law and objective to our infamy and the transgressions of our education. So see that even with Yahushua, it wasn't just the laws, like the basic like laws, things of nature. He was really focused on like, you know, upbraiding them because not doing the, like Matthew 23:23 says, the upbraiding of the weightier matters of the law, faith, judgment, mercy, all those things, man, that ought to be done. So yeah. So see that? And it's a crown, and notice how it says now now we're gonna talk about another crown in this aspect, because the crown we're gonna talk about when he was on the stake about to die. Now of course he's going to see the crown in his kingdom and the Father's kingdom, but you know, let's look at this again. In the crown of Genesis 49 verse 26, we're gonna skip some of that upper part of the of that verse. It says, they shall be a head they shall be on the head of Joseph, and the crown on his head. I mean, of the head of him who I'm sorry, and on the crown of the head of him who was separate from his brother. So see that? So yeah, this is let's read this one more time. Let's read this smoothly. They shall be on the head of Joseph, and on the head of him who was separate from his brother. So see that? Exactly, man. And how was Yahushua separate? He was separate both while he was doing his ministry while he was alive, because the spirit that he had, kind of what we just read, you know, then the scribes and Pharisees and, you know, of that time, like, you know, the judges and like, you know, all of them of that time. But also too, he was separate from his brother when he was in the grave. Then you know, because yeah, he had to do that alone, overcome sin and death alone. Then of course after he resurrected. So yeah, let's go to that crown though. Let's go to the crown that he did have though. Now even if you read the rest of the wisdom of Solomon, it goes into how those people, the wicked will mock, like, you know, the righteous, honestly, how they will provoke and mock and you know, belittle and tries to cause strife, kill, all that stuff, which happened to Yahushua. So let's get Matthew, and this is a part of it. This is part of that crown, though. This is the crown, this aspect of what we're talking about. It's not the crown like, you know, like we said in the beginning, but it all goes into like Yahushua had a crown, but had crowns, but you know, we're gonna look at it in this aspect. Matthew 27 verse 29. Because yeah, it's the witness testimony gospel. We see that. Yep. And Matthew 27:29. And when they had a twisted crown of thorns, they put it on his head and reed in his right hand. And they bowed before the knee and before him and mocked him, saying, "Hail, the King of the Jews." So see that what we just said, how they mocked him, like, you know, and how he had a crown, honestly. And also too, this lines up with what Wisdom of Solomon too. The whole chapter is talking about. But also too, it goes back into the beginning in Genesis 49, what we just read, how the head of Joseph, how, like, you know, how that's how he will have a crown. So see, because when we read Genesis 49, and even when I first came to Word, we often think about like not no disrespect to anybody, but you know, it's really talking about Yahushua, the witness testimony gospel wise. Even like the whole thing, not to Genesis 49 and 8 through 10, when it talks about Judah, like, you know, but because I get it, the whole 12 tribes chart and things, and it's just not to go on anybody and anything, but that's really not talking about that. It's really talking about Yahushua, honestly, like, you know, how the 12 tribes is like this like, you know, embodiment of Yahushua's body, honestly. This how Yahushua came to fulfill all of that as well. Same with Deuteronomy 28. Now, yes, is that talking about the curses of our people? Of course, but even the spiritually looking at it, it's talking about the curses Yahushua put upon and went through as well. So, but yeah, let's read this again. Let me see what time it is. Matthew chapter 27, verse 29. And they had put a crown of thorns, and they put it on his head, and a reed in his right hand. They bowed the knee before him and mocked him, saying, "Hail, the King of the Jews." So see that? That's a crown, because then it said a crown will be on the head of Joseph. So let's go to John 19 and 2. We're going to close out. Okay. John 19 and 2. It says, and the soldiers twisted a crown of thorns and put it on his head, and they put him in the purple robe, because that means royalty, of course. And they and also too, the Levitical priests had a crown, and of course we already know what that is, but because he's a king and priest, so put in a purple robe, and they said, "Hail, the King of Jews," and they struck and him with the palm of their hands. So see, yeah, they slap, spit on, make, yeah, all that type of stuff, man. So, yeah. Outside of Romans 5 is key, man, because nobody else will go through that, man. Because if you ask like 1,000 people, I guarantee you, man, there's nothing wrong with that, because the words even says it. But you're not gonna die for somebody that hates you. Honestly, a lot of people. That's why, man. But that's the biggest aspect of the Most High Yahushua. Biggest thing for me, honestly, that I love is the love and mercy. But it's kind of intertwined. But yeah, man. So that's why we talk about when here, like by His mercy, He's gonna consume. So. Let's get that Genesis chapter 49 in verse 26. We'll read this again to close up. It says, the blessings of your father have excelled the blessings of my ancestors up to the utmost bound of the everlasting hills. They shall be on the head of Joseph, and on the crown of the head of him who was separate from his brother. So yeah, man. So hopefully, hopefully this is edifying, man. So yeah, man. So see that in Genesis 49, I'm going to revisit that even more, because I was like, no, man, we haven't talked about that in a minute. So yeah, also too Deuteronomy. No, it's crazy because this morning I was watching 28 Days Later, and classic movie, and I was just thinking about Deuteronomy 28. Honestly, and we talked about the 28 Years Later movie that recently came out in the springtime, or was it summertime? Springtime. Yeah, I forgot, but yeah, there's actually one coming out in January. I'm gonna see that one, Lord. It's a part 2 too, because they shot it back to back. We'll probably talk about that too, if the Lord permit. That movie review a little bit, look at the spiritual elements aspect to it. So, but yeah, man. So yeah, so because a lot of times too, that's a lot of misconceptions in Genesis 49 and Deuteronomy 28. But shout out to Brother Assembly of Firstborn, man, for because you gotta look at it, and the brother Akawar, brother Elijah, brother Kwame Call and Shalom, because man, we gotta read this word like through the Most High House's perspective, because we had to believe on them as the scripture says. So our faith, obedience and knowledge, wisdom, understanding increases, man. So hopefully it's edifying, man. So much love to y'all brothers and sisters, man. I really do love y'all, man. Seriously, man. Seriously, wish the Most High Yahushua blesses y'all abundantly, man. Just in y'all life, spiritually, in y'all walk, and in y'all natural life, man. Honestly, man, because people going through it out here, man. So, yeah, man. Honestly, all of our people, man, in the world, outside the world, man, scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, man, too. Not on this side, man, because the only side we can see, but on the other side, places we can't see, man, where our brothers and sisters are at, man. Also, to his sons and daughters are at, man. Honestly, man. So, those who are just born of the word. So, anyway, man. Hopefully, this is edifying. So, peace.